Central news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A partly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Matthew Lester and Lake and Dew Russell. Everybody is back in the corral, so we're going to get some work done today. Nice day yesterday, not all that bad of a night last night. Had to deal, obviously, with some humidity. We've been dealing with a lot of humidity so far this summer. Kind of unusual, really. We always do have hot and humid days, but the number of them and the number of them in a row has been a little unusual. And I think for some folks that have to deal with insects and fungus diseases and those sorts of things, they have noticed a big difference this year. We've had a little bit more than we usually do when it comes to those problems. Wet in the Dakotas and Minnesota as we've moved through the day and last night. All that activity now is beginning to move to the east, and the low pressure system that has affected all of that is going to be moving into Wisconsin as we go through the day today and wind up later this afternoon in the west central part of the lower peninsula, which means we're going to see an increase in the clouds, and that unsettled air is going to continue to fester to the point where we will see a little bit more in the way of some scattered shower activity, some pop-up thunderstorms. And obviously, many of you are fully aware that if you get one of those right over your head, you're going to get a whole lot of rain in a real short period of time, and maybe even a clap of thunder and a little bit of lightning. And that will be increasing in opportunity as we get into the later afternoon hours. More than likely, after 2, a little bit closer to 3 o'clock, we should begin to see some of that activity in the Great Lakes Bay area. Right now, within the last hour, we have seen some of it crop up west, southwest, and south of Lansing, but not quite reaching Lansing. As of right now, though, we have had some reports of some light rain shower activity in the southeastern portion of the lower peninsula. Monroe and Detroit have reported some light rain this hour. Matthew, on the thermometer right now, where are we looking?
Currently, over at the airport, it's partly sunny at 83. Over in Midland, it's mostly sunny at 84. Here, Radio Center, it's partly sunny at 85. We have southwest winds at 9 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 29.92, and it's falling.
Sun, humidity, giving way to a few more clouds around. Spotty shower activity, as we said, as we go into the afternoon. Then a little bit of a break. It does appear as though any shower activity most likely on your back porch will be anywhere from 2:30 up until about 5:30, 5:45 this afternoon. Then we're going to get a little bit of a break. Temperature-wise, we should be up right around 88 degrees for a high. Some of you won't quite reach that, but as Matthew indicated, we're heading in that direction as of right now. Humidity levels are right up there, and they'll continue to be quite humid all the way through the nighttime hours. And as a result, there is going to be a pretty good chance of seeing some shower activity, and we will see a front move through the state. It'll be after midnight tonight, during the early morning hours tomorrow morning, more than likely about 1, 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. The front will slide through, wind shift line and some cooler air behind it. We'll have an overnight low of 70, but then tomorrow we won't hit 80 degrees. More than likely we'll be looking at 78 for a high, some clouds, and maybe a shower early in the morning tomorrow morning, more than likely before sunrise, but we could see a widely scattered shower after sunrise, but it'll taper off rather rapidly. And then some sun as we go into the afternoon tomorrow. The low pressure system that'll cause all of this, that will be crossing the lower peninsula, will be over Lake Ontario as we move into the late morning and early afternoon hours tomorrow. After a high of 78, a low of 56, clearing as we go through the day, and overnight tomorrow night, it'll be partly cloudy skies. Now, tomorrow, you'll know the wind shift line will be going through because we'll have a southwest breeze before midnight, and then after midnight, once the front moves through, we'll have a northwest breeze, and it'll be gusty. about 15 to 25 miles per hour during the morning hours tomorrow, tapering off just gradually, and then be more or less northeasterly tomorrow night into the morning hours on Friday. After a low of 56 tomorrow night, it'll once again move up to right around 76, 77 degrees for a high on Friday. There'll be an east wind on Friday, 5 to 10 miles per hour, and then clear skies on Friday night, 59 for a low. High pressure over the Upper Peninsula is what's going to give us the clear skies and the cooler temperatures. Now on Saturday, we'll start to work our way back up again. We should be pretty close to average, 82 for a high on Saturday. There will be a chance of some afternoon and early evening showers on Saturday afternoon and Saturday night, but all of that will be clearing out, and Sunday looks like the pick of the two when it comes to temperature, 80 degrees, when it comes to lower humidities, and very little, if any, chance of precipitation. Precipitation free moves into Monday, but then late Monday night, early Tuesday morning, we'll have a chance once again of seeing some showers around. Low 80s for a high on Monday, upper 80s for a high on Tuesday, with that chance of an afternoon shower on Tuesday. Long range to take us all the way through the 29th of the month. Overall, temperatures will be above normal. Precipitation values will be above normal as well. Record high in the state is 98. That was set back in 1931. The record low is 45. That was set in 1912 and tied in 1946. A year ago today, 83 was our high, 67 was our low. We picked up about 0.3 of an inch of rain out at MBS International Airport. Warmest ever, 16th of July, 2013. 94 was our high, 74 was our low. The coldest ever, you got to go back to 1940. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, Matthew, who do we have today?
Coming up next, we have Cody Harris from Star of the West, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
Well, before we get to them, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call today and get a quote. Want to tell you all about my good friends at Roof Max. Ben is the guy that I've been working with. AskBenHow.com. That's how I did a little work to see just a background, to kind of get an idea of what it was all about. Well, I liked what I saw there. AskBen.com, AskBenHow.com. Then I had a chance to talk to him. I called him, 989-859-6751. He said he's going to come out and take a look at the roof. It's free, so just check it out. And I'll give you a report if you're not home. And he did. And he told me a couple, three things that he had repaired while he was up there. Again, that was a free estimate. But he fixed a couple of things, and there were a couple things that he thought he'd probably touch up with a crew. And then he said, well, your roof looks like it's in pretty good shape. You want to keep it that way? I said, yeah. How much is it going to cost me? Well, a new roof was going to cost me a whole lot more than what he charged me. He saved me thousands of dollars and one big headache. And the whole process was safe, it was quick, and it came with a warranty that added many years to that roof of mine. Now, remember, my roof was probably about 20 years old. Well, he added a lot to that 20 years. Made it worth my while to check him out and to have him do it. Because after it was all said and done, I was gone all day. I didn't know when he came, and I didn't know when he left, but I knew what he did when he was there, and I liked what I saw. And I liked the grounds and everything all around the house were just as clean as I left it when I left the house that morning. So check it out. They really care about not only their product, but they care about the work that they do and how they leave your home when they're done. A little care today saves you a whole lot more tomorrow. AskBenHow.com, RoofMax, 989-859-6751. Say good morning to Cody Harris over at Star of the West. Cody, the guys in Chicago, they never leave things the way you did it when you left the house, do they?
That's correct there. I can tell you that. That's for sure.
Boy, I'll tell you. I mean, it's been all over the board once again all week. Are they taking any hostages today?
Actually, no. We're actually trending in the right direction as of late, Terry. So I'd say within the last probably hour or so, markets have really turned around. Soybeans have really taken off. That's really pulled up corn and wheat here this morning as well. So we got green across the board, which I haven't had to say in a few days, which is nice.
It is nice. What, they just decided to be nice to us, or there's a reason for this?
Well, most of the reason, especially in soybeans right now, is that we got yesterday, President Trump announced a trade deal with Indonesia. And some of the details that we saw, it looked like it outlined a plan, kind of $4.5 billion in ag purchases by Indonesia. And soybeans are definitely the likely beneficiary from that added business. They're on the top of the list as far as Indonesian ag imports from the U.S. So that really has the market going here this morning. And then in addition to that, you kind of look at corn. Corn's kind of been the one that's kind of been staying stable, it seems like, the last couple of days. And it seems like traders are finally getting a little bit of, or have a little bit of bullish optimism from last Friday's report, which had old crop stocks at 4-year low. So that's kind of finally starting to get a little traction. And then wheat's more international news here today. I was kind of looking around at some wires here this morning, and I kind of was reading that Russia, their harvest is off to a very slow start and lesser yields than a year ago. As I kind of dug into it, the International Grains Council reported that as of July 8th, only 6 million metric tons of wheat had been harvested in Russia compared to 22.2 million at this time in 2024. So that's something to keep an eye on, and that may kind of drive maybe a trend here or there. But definitely the bullish influence today is in the soybean market, and as long as it keeps going up, I'm okay with that.
You bet. So right now on the board, what do you have?
Yeah, right now I got cash and new crop wheat up 4, 532 on the white, 452 on the red. I got cash corn, that's up 5 at 351. New crop corn up 4 at 359. And then looking over at soybeans, cash and new crop soybeans are up 17 at 939.
Cody, you take care. Have a great day, okay?
Yeah, you as well. Thank you.
Will do. Cody Harris over at Star of the West. A little bit more in depth now. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us. Market Report brought to you by Thumb Bank. They've got 13 locations all across the Thumb in the Great Lakes Bay Area, including that newer one in Freeland. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. And the Market Report brought to you by Krizak's House Family Restaurant. Remember, if you're in charge for the food for an event coming up, well, they've got an economical way for you to supply the food, and you will like what you get. 989-894-5531. That's the telephone number. Give them a call. Take it home with you when it's ready to go at your event. And as I said, everybody's really going to enjoy the food that you bring to your event. Krizak's also a great place to dine in. Corner of Cass in Michigan on the south side of Bay City. They mentioned about the trade deal and how the markets are responding there. Lakin Duras will be Lakin in another day or so. We're going to talk a little bit more about that.
Yes, we will. The Michigan Ag Today report will have a bit more on the trade with the farmers.
And the one individual they will be quoting is Ted McKinney, who a lot of people really respect him.
Yes, they do.
And
it'll be very interesting.
Yes, very interesting. We'll also be talking a little bit more about Tar Spot coming up in just a little bit too, right?
You sure will.
All righty. So stay tuned for that. Doug Klein, good morning. How are you this morning?
Doing good. How you doing?
Hey, not too bad. How's things going?
They're wild again. Goldman Sachs had their earnings. They were fantastic. So their traders made all kinds of money for them. Trump is likely to fire Powell. That is the biggest news to hit the wire in the last 15 minutes or so. So the stock market went from 100. Dow Jones was 100 up, and then it was 250 down. Now it's about 100 down. So all over the board. I don't know who he's going to replace him with. I guess maybe Besant is one of the Fed governors that is up for potentially taking his place or whatever. So that's adding a little intrigue. The yield curve steepened about 60 basis points on that kind of news. So the new guy, I'm sure, would have to be an interest rate slasher to get the job. So that's probably what we're looking at. Wholesale numbers came in. Wholesale inflation numbers came in. They were unchanged. So no inflation on the PPI, the Producer Price Index. That's got a little bit to do with the price of grains and crude oil and stuff like that. So yeah, grains are up, crude oil is down, gold is up, precious metals in general are up. The dollar's getting hit pretty steep, about 77 bips. So here's your numbers. September corn 406, up 4 3/4. December corn 424.5, up also 4 3/4. The August soybeans 1011 3/4, up 16 3/4. November soybeans 1019.5, up 17 3/4. September wheat 542.25, up 4 1/4, and December wheat is 562.5, up 3 3/4. The crude oil is 64.64, down 73 cents. Heating oil is 238, down 2.5 cents. Gasoline 213.5, down 3.4 cents, and natural gas is 361.5, up 5.5 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, US dollar buys $1.3683 Canadian. That's down 39 ticks. The dollar buys 147.25 yen, down 161 ticks. The euro is at 116.90, up 91 ticks. The dollar's at 97.89, down 72.5 ticks. Gold's at 33.76, up $39.30. Silver's 38.07, up 14 cents. Platinum's 1444.70, up 31.60. Copper's at 553 3/4, down 4 cents.
All righty. You have a good one, Doug. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep, you too.
Doug Klein at Oppenheimer. We'll be right back. But first, this.
It happens after every commercial building gets built.
That looks great, boys. Wow, what a change. The owners are going to be thrilled.
Even after cleaning out the garage or shed. That leftover scrap metal can be a burden, but it doesn't have to be, and it can make you some cash. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal is a metal recycling company that'll pay you cash and recycle your metal for the future. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal also makes it easy. We can provide containers for industrial manufacturing facilities and small specialty shops for moving and storing scrap metals. Looking to scrap a vehicle? We got you. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal in Saginaw, just north of the Dow Event Center. Also located in West Branch, 1 mile off I-75 and M76. Schedule a car pickup or check metal prices now at rifkin-co.com. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal, recycling today for tomorrow.
Friday, bonus pricing has been extended at Rifkin Steel.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. They've got a great selection of products from Sure Crop Natures to help you increase your yields. And, of course, expert advice. Vic Huffer, he's available to answer a lot of questions. Serving you is their business. They've been doing it since 1983. That's Freeland Bean and Grain. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor Parts. They encourage each and every one of you to have a great time at the Tuscola County Fair. This is the 144th annual Tuscola County Fair in Carroll. Kicks off with a lot of activities going on. Harness racing is going to be this weekend. Then the fair itself gets rolling starting on Monday of next week. And then the Carnival Company takes over on Tuesday of next week and run all the way through Saturday. It's going to be a busy, busy week in Carroll at the Tuscola County Fair. And don't forget the youth auction. The livestock auction is once again this year on Friday of next week. So mark that down on your calendar. Let's find out what's going on over at Nutrient Ag. Travis Christian joining me this morning. Travis, what are you seeing in the fields right now?
Well, today I had the chance to walk some side-by-sides, which was really fun with some of our interns and see some of the work they've been keeping track of this year and taking tissue samples on and soil samples and measuring plant differences. And I'm seeing, despite areas of the state that have been pretty dry, corn that looks pretty happy overall. And still seeing some areas of stress though. And we've got an amazing weather team at Nutrient Ag Solutions, and much of the Corn Belt and parts of Michigan are still going to see some heat the rest of the summer and some stress. So I want to emphasize that taking care of that with these fungicide applications and putting in a product like Terramar to help that plant handle that stress and continue to move water, continue to move carbohydrates, continue to photosynthesize is going to be a really big deal for protecting yield potential.
I took a look at the latest crop progress, and it indicated that our subsoil moisture overall, the state is not bad right now.
It really isn't. I've been surprised by how good the bottoms of plants look, despite, on my side of the state, we were in the 90s yesterday, and corn overall pretty good in a lot of places. Probably planting date dependent, but just goes to show that, you cannot undo a bad planting job the rest of the season, no matter how hard you try. But when you do a really good job, it sets you up for really good success.
And our soybeans seem to look pretty good as well.
I agree. And, hearing about spider mites here or there, but in my travels, by and large, I'm not seeing them really start to be prolific, but probably something to keep an eye out in this heat and as we see more fungicide go down.
Travis, thank you so much for sharing. We really appreciate it. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Thank you, Terry. Have a great day.
I will. You too. Travis Christian. Let's talk a little bit about corn. Lake and Dew, Russell, one of the concerns that some folks are having is tar spot.
Yes, that's right. Tar spot has made an earlier than normal arrival in Michigan. According to the Crop Protection Network, confirmations were detected in Eaton and Cass counties on July 9th and Macomb and Gratiot counties on July 10th. Agronomists say weather conditions in some parts of the state have been ideal for the early season arrival of tar spot, with cool nighttime temperatures, high overnight humidity, and extended periods of leaf wetness. The MSU Extension Field Crops team will be hosting a virtual breakfast tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. with Dr. Martin Chilvers on white mold and tar spot spraying. RUP and CCA credits are available, and to register, visit the MSU Extension Field Crops website.
Yeah, Marty always puts on a pretty good program every year.
Yes, he has excellent insight.
Yeah, tar spot, I hadn't really heard too much about it until just within the last, 10 days.
Yes, yeah, it's much earlier with the conditions this year, but when it's hot and dry, it does not come on as early, but this year they're seeing it in some of those areas.
Yeah, we've got the humidity.
Right. Yeah, the humidity does not help.
No, not at all. Coming up, we just mentioned briefly, you're going to have a chance to talk a little bit about the trade deficit, really, that the United States has had.
That's very important for growers to see. And with what the country's doing at the moment, we'll find out more about that tomorrow.
Yeah. Lake and Dew, Russell, thank you so much. We'll be right back.
When it comes to strength, reliability, and performance, nothing beats a PowerLift hydraulic door. Built right here in Marlette, Michigan, our custom hydraulic doors are designed for your toughest jobs. Agriculture, aviation, commercial, and more. The price we give is an installed price, and you'll deal with one point of contact from start to finish. To schedule your PowerLift door consultation, call 989-635-8017 or visit PowerLiftDoorsMI.com. PowerLift Hydraulic Doors of Michigan. When you need it done right, we lift you above the rest.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They do have lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. Stop by any of their conveniently located offices and see how they can become your hometown financial solution. Find out more about them. Case them out by going to frankenmuthcu.org. And they invite each and every one of you to have a whole lot of festival fun. They're going to be involved, obviously, in the Tuscola County Fair, but they're also involved in the Munger Potato Festival. That'll be starting next Thursday and going through Sunday. And we'll have a whole lot of information on that as we get closer to the event. Let's check base right now with Chuck Cervinsky over at Maple Hill Nursery. And Chuck, let's talk a little bit about food plots today.
Yeah, a lot of people have planted food plots, and it's that time of the year when you want to give them a little boost, a little shot of fertilizer, and we have got the perfect thing for that, and it's called Food Plot Dew from our friends over at Morgan Composting. This is an 844 analysis, and it's designed as a perfect fertilizer to improve sandy soils in some of the food plots by adding organic matter and nutrients back into the ground. And it uses a poultry manure base, so you're going to get extra calcium to promote growth and nutrients in the plants. And it actually means your deer are going to be eating healthier plants, ingesting that calcium and the other nutrients that are in that fertilizer. And we've got it in granular form in 25 and pound bags, and it works really well right now.
Yeah, I guess. Chuck, we'll talk to you again on Friday, all right?
Okay.
Take care. Chuck Cervinsky at Maple Hill Nursery. We'll be right back. Whether you're managing acres of crops or a backyard garden bed, one thing's true for every grower. Healthy plants start with healthy soil. At Dairy Dew, we make it easy to build soil health with products that work above and below the surface. Our blends include powerful ingredients like humic and fulvic acids, natural compounds that help unlock nutrients, boost root growth, and feed the biology in your soil. From Bloom Blaster and Veggie Blaster for your flowers and veggies to Safe Green Lawn for a yard that's safe for the whole family, we've got the tools to help you grow naturally and grow better. Whether you're planting a row or an acre, trust Dairy Dew to give your soil the good stuff it needs to thrive, season after season. Visit dairydew.com or stop by Morgan Composting.
Healthy plants come from healthy soil. Healthy soil comes from Dairy Dew.
Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at Michigan Truck Spring of Saginaw. Light, medium, heavy-duty trucks and trailers, buses and recreational vehicles, they've got the parts and the service to take care of it. 45 years they've been doing this, over 45. Don't forget, truckspring.com is where you can get more information. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.